Ladies and gentlemen, the nation is going downhill right as we speak. The economy is losing money fast, and we need to find solutions to get ourselves out of this economic downfall. In addition, our president's polls are looking pretty bad as well. Unemployment is increasing, and gas prices are skyrocketing as well. And as a result, consumers are not buying as much as they should be. Thus, our economy is looking pretty bad, with all the bad money flow. So, the main problem is, how can we as economic experts get ourselves out of this economic downfall? So, our solution is that we have developed and proposed a few policies to hopefully get us out of these problems, and in addition to addressing what these problematic scenarios are. Also, the people who addressed the team and the president himself in regards to keeping us in mind about keeping the economy stabilized are the Silver Cougars, Studebaker, and Keep America Employed. These will be later addressed throughout this presentation. Here are our solutions.
The letter of Sarah Lindsay, President of the Silver Cougars of America. We understand that consumer prices have reached an all-time high and have made it very difficult for the average retired American to live off his or her pension. We decided to propose a beneficial policy. In this policy, it proposed that he or she would receive better benefits such as health, dental, etc., and a tax deduction. By doing this, it will help them pay for all their needs and live a less stressful life. But I would like to remind the Silver Cougars of America that entertainment does not count as a necessity, it is a luxury.
According to The Atlantic's $110 Effect article, it is believed that higher oil prices per barrel have a huge effect on the economy. It leads consumers into smaller spending such as shoes, clothes, etc. Each 50% increase in gas prices adds $60 billion towards annual consumer bills. As for businesses, they have to maintain their profit margins by selling their products at a higher price, causing an inflation. The chart shows how oil consumption per unit of GDP decreases over time. This shows that the U.S. economy requires less oil to produce a given GDP. We realize that the law of demand is a huge factor to the automobile industry, and we see that they are concerned about the substitution effect, meaning due to rising prices, consumers may turn to cheaper alternatives. Taking note of the letter from William N. Johnston, the president and CEO of Studebaker Corp., we propose a fiscal policy where automobile companies should begin using natural gas, along with energy-efficient capital equipment. The United States have an increasing production from hydraulic fracturing, which is an underground system, and power plants can burn natural gas. Since it's underground, outages are rare. Also, natural gas costs 70% less than gasoline since America has a more effective source of it. It is also eco-friendly. We propose we reduce automotive taxes by 5%, saving the company $50 million in investments.
Dick Moore, the Research and Policy Analysis Advisor of Campaign for Job Security, has made it known to us that workers are worried about losing their jobs. We suggest a physical policy where we can offer people jobs relevant to roadworks and electricity grid. We can build new roads and buildings which we can use in the future. It will reduce the percentage of unemployed Americans and maintain a workforce. Offering them jobs can help them pay their bills and have enough money for their needs. As for the middle-class Americans, we can raise their income by 15% and decrease their taxes. It can directly boost wages for 15 million workers. Raising the minimum wage would provide households with more money to spend. According to the CBO, a smaller increase would reduce employment by 100,000, while about 7.6 million workers would have higher pay.
Before we move on, I would like to briefly go over the two main policies the government uses. First is a monetary policy, in which the Federal Reserve, the government's bank, handles the money supply and the prices in the economy. The other is the fiscal policy, in which the whole government makes the decisions regarding spending and taxing to balance the nation's GDP and stabilize the economy. Despite their differences, they both have one goal in common: to stabilize the economy and help smooth the nation's money flow. Here's an example of how it works. On October 29, 2014, the Wall Street says that the fiscal policy has become somewhat more restrictive, referring to a combination of federal spending cuts and tax increases that had taken effect in previous months. The Commerce Department has estimated that declining government spending and investment subtracted 0.65 percentage points from gross domestic product growth in 2011, slicing off 0.3 percentage points from the GDP in 2012, and subtracted 0.39 percentage points from the growth in 2013. No longer. The Fed's statement Wednesday made no reference to the fiscal policy, signaling that for the first time in more than a year and a half, the Fed isn't worried about federal tax and spending policies dragging down growth in the second quarter. The Commerce Department has estimated that increased government spending boosted economic growth to the tune of 0.31 percentage points. This means that due to the bad economy, the U.S. government restrained the economy by increasing taxes, thus the usage of the fiscal policy. And as a result, the Federal Reserve states that the dragging down growth of the economy is no longer there.
So this is what me and the team have proposed to do in order to solve these dilemmas. In summary, to solve Silver Cougar's consumer prices, since it rises far beyond their pension and concern about their benefits, our solution is to offer better benefits. For example, better and cheaper health benefits and a tax deduction. For Studebaker's problem regarding high gas prices resulting in higher car prices, the solution is to reduce 5% of automotive's taxes. Lastly, for a campaign job security problem regarding many people losing their jobs, our solution is by offering jobs and raising income by 15%. These are our proposed solutions, and thank you for listening.